Hello, you are listening to Disney Travel Tales, episode number 49. This is a space where you can escape the real world and immerse yourself in someone's recent Disney trip. I'm Jenny, and today I'm talking with my son Aiden and my daughter Amelia about our trip to Aulani, the Disney resort in Oahu, Hawaii. We had such an amazing time at this beautiful resort, and I could not wait to do this episode. To make sure you never miss a new episode of the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the show wherever you listen to podcasts. This season, I'm going to have some awesome travel tales to share, and I would hate for you to miss one. If you're wanting to support the show, the easiest way to is by leaving a positive review on Apple Podcast. It's so easy and makes such a difference in helping the show grow. Another way to support the podcast is by using me as your travel agent if you're planning a trip. I specialize in Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruises, other cruise lines, and all-inclusives. All of my services are complimentary to you when you book a trip with me. Email me at jenny@trolleylanetravel.com for a free no-obligation quote. I have a form also linked in the show notes that you can go fill out, which gives me all the information I need to get you that quote. Okay, so let's get going. Imagine yourself on the beach eating a Mickey-shaped shaved ice, and let's go. So today I'm here with my son Aiden, and we are going to talk about our vacation that was in August when we went to Hawaii and we stayed at Aulani. Hi, Aiden.
Hi.
Okay, so back in August, we traveled to Hawaii for mine and Cameron's 20th wedding anniversary. It was like a big family vacation, kind of a bucket list vacation for us. And I knew while we were there that I was going to want to stay at Aulani because I love Disney. And now that I'm a podcaster and travel agent, I felt like it was really important for me to see Aulani so that I can help other people when they want to plan a trip there. So from the Disney website, it says, discover a family paradise with a touch of magic at Aulani, a Disney resort and spa in Ko'olina, Hawaii. There's something for everyone to enjoy at this award-winning resort, and so much is included with your stay and more. So in our family, we have some Disney lovers, but then we have some not such big Disney fans. And I was excited to go see Aulani because from everything that I had read, it was really like a big Hawaiian resort with just a touch of Disney. What did you think about this, Aiden?
Yeah, there really wasn't much Disney at Aulani, even though it's a Disney resort. Like, you get there and you don't really see any Disney themes. Like, yeah, there's some, like, touches of Disney, but for the most part, it just felt like a normal resort in Hawaii.
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yes, it was very beautiful.
So it's about a 30-minute drive from the Honolulu airport. And when we landed in Honolulu, we went and got food. And then we went over to a Costco to get some drinks and snacks. And it was about a 30-minute drive. The funny thing is in Hawaii, when you look on a map, will tell you it's a certain mileage. But the speed limits are so slow. And because there aren't a lot of roads, there can be traffic. So it took us about 30 minutes to get from the Honolulu airport to Ko'olina. We also decided on this trip that we were going to rent a car because we wanted to be able to explore the entire island while we were there. It's not very big. Maybe from top to bottom is like a 45, 50-minute drive. And so one of our goals was just to try to see as much as we possibly could. And we were only staying at Aulani for 2 nights. And the rest of our stay, we went up and stayed on the north side of the island at Turtle Bay. So I did the online check-in for Aulani through the app, and our room was ready while we were driving to the resort. So after we stopped at Costco, I got a little alert that said our room was ready, and we were so excited to get there. When we got to Aulani, we were a little bit confused on what to do. There's not a ton of signs. I mean, you can see Aulani because it's beautiful, but I just assumed this was kind of like a regular resort at Walt Disney World where once you're checked in, you can just go straight to your room. So we went and did self-park, but after we parked in the parking garage, we realized that it's actually kind of far from the rooms and there's no luggage racks to carry any of your luggage. So we had to get back in the car and leave the parking garage and go to the front of the resort. And that's where they told us It's kind of, if you're not going to be using your car, it's kind of better just to do valet parking because it's the same price. It was $39 a day. And then they take all of your luggage, Bell Service takes all of it and delivers it to your room. Now, because we already had our room number, I went ahead and gave that to Bell Services so that they could have it and we could get our things quicker. But they also said we still needed to go to the front desk to check in to get actual room keys. So at this point, I want to kind of give y'all an idea of how our day was going flight-wise and time change-wise. So Hawaii is a 5-hour time difference from where we're at in Texas. We left Texas at 7:15 that morning. We left Austin and we flew to San Diego. We landed at San Diego around 7:30 a.m. We had about an hour layover, which was actually really nice because we got something to eat. It was going to be a longer flight and they weren't going to serve food because we flew Southwest. And so it was really important that we try to find somewhere that we could get something to eat. So we got food. We got on that plane and left, I'm thinking it was around 8:30 when we left San Diego, and we landed in Oahu at 12:30. So by the time we landed in Oahu, it was only 12:30 there, but it was 5:30 Texas time, and we were already pretty tired. So our goal for this day was, once we got to Aulani, was just to relax, to go hang out by the pools and the beach and pretty much do nothing and stay up as late as we could so that we could kind of acclimate to the Hawaiian time. It was pretty exhausting, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It was really exhausting. Like, it definitely was a culture shock for someone that hasn't been, like, technically, I would say, out of the country, since it is a pretty far flight. Like, out of the United States. It's out of the mainland of the United States. So, so getting there, I was super exhausted, but also was, like, super excited that, I was in Hawaii, that it wasn't, like, it was, like, a mixture of being, like, super tired and not tired at the same time from excitement.
Yeah, well, the adrenaline kind of kicked in and we kind of felt ready to go, but I knew we were going to crash fast. So by the time we got to Aulani, it was around, I think, 3. And so that's 8 p.m. Texas time. So we were pretty tired, but we were still going to just power through as much as we could. So we got to our room. We stayed in a 1-bedroom ocean villa. Our room was absolutely gorgeous. It sleeps 5 people. There's a king bed in the master bedroom, a pull-out couch that comfortably sleeps 2, and then a pull-down twin-size bed that's under the TV. The room also has a giant split-size bathroom and a full-size kitchen with a big table and a bench seat and chairs, and there was 2 balconies. When we got to the room and went in, I think we were all surprised at how beautiful it was.
Mm-hmm. It was really nice. Like, it's definitely different from the usual Disney resort experience you'd see at, like, Disney World. Like, it just felt like a genuine, like, Hawaiian-styled hotel.
Yeah, it was so beautifully decorated. It felt very calm, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Had, like, dark wood colors and lots of whites, and just, it was very warm and inviting. Yeah, we were just really excited. I have some videos that I'm going to be posting on Disney Travel Tales Instagram page if you want to go look at it. We absolutely loved this room. It probably was one of our favorite things at the resort. One of the coolest things of the room was the bathroom. So the bathroom was a split bathroom. On one side, it had a sink, the toilet, and a pretty big shower. Then on the other side, it had a giant jacuzzi bathtub and then another sink and closet. That side was the closest to the master bedroom, and then the other side kind of walked out into the kitchen. And it was just perfect for a family our size. We could have people taking a bath, someone taking a shower. We had 2 sinks, so it was really nice when we were trying to get ready in the morning. It just worked out so perfectly. And before we got there, I didn't even know this was the way the room was set up, but it was really, really nice. And all the beds are really comfortable. Aiden, you slept in the small twin bed and the couch bed. Did you think they were comfortable?
The small twin bed is nice for littler children, I would say. Me, I'm 6 foot, so my legs were dangling off the edge, and I was kind of struggling on that bed. But, like, for someone of a smaller size, it was still comfortable. For, like, the actual bed portion. But the couch bed was really nice. Like, even for my size, I felt slept good and fit inside of it perfectly fine.
And we had 2 people sleeping on the couch bed. It was probably, it was a really nice couch bed. It wasn't your average couch bed. So we also had 2 balconies. And like I said, I requested an ocean view room for us. Our room actually did not face the inside of Aulani. So Aulani's like a U-shaped with the pool in the middle, and then you look out on the lagoon. We were actually kind of on the back side. Our balconies overlooked the front of the Four Seasons Resort, and then you could see the ocean. But I really liked our location. In the evenings, we could see the sunset if the clouds weren't covering. And then it was just a nice spot in the mornings. We spent a lot of time on the balconies when we were in the room because it was just so peaceful. Okay, so Bell Services brought up our bags really quickly. And after we got unpacked, we got on our swimsuits and just packed a couple things to head down to the pool and the beach. It's really easy to get around Aulani, and it's just so beautiful. I think we were all just kind of surprised at how nice it was.
Everything is really just one elevator right away.
Yeah.
Like, going to the pool, you just ride down to the bottom floor and then you're just already there. Like, it's such a big resort that everything just feels so close to each other.
Yeah, it is really big, but nothing felt far, and we pretty much walked all over it. So we decided to just go to the beach because that's kind of where everyone wanted to go. But before, we wanted to stop and get some towels and get our wristbands. So while you stay at Aulani, you have to wear a new wristband every day to have access to the pools and the beach and to get a towel. And this is kind of just for them to know who's an Aulani guest. Because all the beaches in Hawaii are public. So anyone can walk around any of the beaches, even Aulani's beach, technically. Anyone could come up and swim in it. And they also could just kind of come up and walk to the pools because there's no gate, or there's not like a gatekeeper letting people in and out. But there are cast members walking around, and they're kind of looking at your bands to make sure that you belong there. So we stopped and we got our bands for that day. And then we also got our bands for the next day, so we wouldn't have to worry about getting them. So after 4 p.m. every day, you can go get your band for the next day. All they ask you to do is scan your room key. So by the time we got down to the beach, it was about 4, I think.
It was pretty late in the day.
Yeah, and there were plenty of chairs to choose from. We just kind of picked some chairs, threw our stuff on it, and went down to the water. The water was really nice, wasn't it?
Yes. The water was pretty cold, but it was also, the sun wasn't really out that day because of the clouds just covering the sun. But everything was super nice. Like, the sand was so soft. Like, compared to beaches here in Texas, like, the sand's a little bit rockier here in Texas, while the sand in Hawaii is just so soft. Your feet just kind of sink into it. That was probably my favorite part of the beach. But something to know about the Aulani Resort is that the beach is inside a lagoon, so there isn't really waves in it, which I do really enjoy waves when I go to the beach. So that was a little bit upsetting, but what made up for it was just the sand and the water just being super nice. Like, it was very relaxing. Like, it was my most relaxing beach experience.
Yeah, it was a really nice lagoon, and it wasn't too crowded. There were people there, but it wasn't too bad. I think, too, because it was later in the day, but it was nice. So before we went down to the lagoon, Cameron stopped at the Wailani Pool Bar and got us a couple of drinks. We got the mango mojitos, and those are really good. Did y'all get a treat that day? Did y'all get Dole Whips?
No, that was the next day.
Okay. So we stayed out until about 6 p.m. and then we had our first learning experience of the trip. So we were ready to eat. However, there was really no option for dinner. So there was one sit-down restaurant that we went over to, but they did not have any availability and they didn't take reservations. So it was just kind of busy at that time, I guess. And then we walked over to the Four Seasons Resort because they're in the same lagoon as we are, and they had a couple of restaurants. None of them had availability. So we just went to Aulani's quick service dining, is called Ulu Cafe. They have kind of your just usual American fare with a few Hawaiian dish options, and every night they offer a different dinner menu item. So Cameron got the item of the night. It was like a Hawaiian chicken and rice. Aiden and Amelia got pizza.
Yep.
And then Asher got chicken tenders. I got like a mandarin orange chicken salad. It was kind of just pre-made. This food was okay. It was nothing special. There's not a lot of tables around there, so we just grabbed our food and went back to the room and ate up there. What do you think?
It really was just cafeteria food,
Yeah.
like something just quick, easy to get. Like definitely best for lunch and breakfast, I would say, because you're just kind of just trying to fill your stomachs at that time, while dinner's supposed to be like your like big meal of the day, like your best eat, I would say. So not really a great dinner place, but definitely nice for like lunch.
Yeah, it really wasn't great. The salad I got actually ended up making me feel sick later that night. But we were so exhausted at this point that we just kind of ate it. We all showered and we were in bed by 8. So the next morning we woke up bright and early at 6 a.m. because our bodies, they just weren't adjusted to the time change. I actually woke up at like 4 and just laid in bed because I thought I cannot get up at 4. The sun rises super early in Hawaii. And so we were up at 6. We were drinking coffee on the balcony, kind of planning our day. We had a character breakfast that morning at Makahiki, which is the big table service restaurant at Aulani. We also wanted to walk around the resort and check it out since we didn't really get to the day before. Amelia had a reservation at Auntie's beach house that she was going to go to. So we had kind of an exciting, busy day ahead of us. And while we were sitting on the balcony drinking coffee, Cameron and I kind of started talking about maybe we'd see if we could go to the spa. And he was really wanting a massage because he was super sore and tight from the flight. So we looked online. There weren't a ton of bookings that day. This was a Friday. And so I ended up booking him. There was a massage that was open for right after our breakfast was going to be over. And so I ended up booking that for him. And then I booked myself a facial for the next day. So that worked out really nice. So we got dressed and we just kind of headed down and we just started walking around the resort. There's 2 really nice gift shops that we went in. I had originally purchased us a wooden surfboard that we could get all the characters to sign. So we had that. And we just walked around the resort and checked everything out a little bit before heading down to go to our breakfast. So the first thing you do when you walk down to the restaurant is you get in line to take a picture with Mickey and his Hawaiian tire. And he's so cute and it was really fun. And Amelia was super excited to see him. I was super excited to see him and we ended up getting some really good pictures. So then after you meet Mickey, you go to the front of the restaurant. We checked in. I think we waited maybe 5 minutes and then they take you over to Goofy where Goofy's cooking. He's wearing a chef outfit and he's cooking up some good food and you get to stop and kind of have some fun interactions. Goofy was funny, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then you get some pictures. So that was really fun. They took us down to our table, which we actually had a pretty good table. So another thing about Hawaii is everything is like open air. And so we were kind of on this like halfway point. So half of our table was on the outside a little bit and then half of it was inside.
Kind of. It was
we were just right on the edge.
There wasn't windows. It was like there was like a wall separating, but there was like giant holes in it where windows would be. So we basically got the outdoor experience. Yeah. Just with AC.
It was really nice. And our server was super great. We told her that it was our 20th anniversary and she brought us buttons. After that, we ordered some pog juice, some coffee, and sodas. They brought out a couple of baskets of pastries. They were all delicious. It was like some muffins, a chocolate-covered croissant. It was really good. For our meal, I ordered the buttermilk pancakes that came with a macadamia nut Tahitian vanilla sauce, caramel, and syrup. And I loved it. It was delicious. Cameron ordered the traditional omelet with Spam fried rice, and he loved that as well. The boys both ordered Belgian waffles and bacon, and they liked it. Did you like your food?
Yes, the waffle was delicious. The waffle came with syrup, this like whipped cream, and butter, and I just stuck that all in my waffle, and it was just amazing. Very good.
And then Amelia ordered the Minnie and Mickey waffles, and it came with 2 regular waffles and a red velvet waffle, and she loved those. While we were at the table, Pluto and Max came by to meet us. I was really excited to meet Max because I've never met him and he was really fun. Pluto was funny. He licked all of the boys' heads, and I have some really great videos and pictures of that. There was also an uncle who walked around playing the ukulele, and honestly, this was probably one of my favorite things we did at Aulani. It was such a great experience, and the food was absolutely delicious, probably the best food we ate at Aulani.
I'm not really a breakfast person, but I really enjoyed my time at this restaurant.
It was really fun. We loved it. So after breakfast, we said goodbye to Cameron, so he went off to the spa. And then I needed to take Amelia to get her checked into Auntie's. So Auntie's is a place where kids can go have fun with other kids their age. They make crafts and do activities. And it's a 2-hour time block, and you register 2 weeks in advance for this. So I knew that I wanted Amelia to get an opportunity to do this. I think it only goes up to age 12, and she's about to be 10. I don't know if when the next time we're going to be going back to Hawaii is, so I definitely wanted her to have this opportunity. Before she goes, you have to go check them in just to kind of make it easier. And so we walked over to Auntie's. If you're standing at the lobby of Aulani and you're facing the ocean, it's all the way on the bottom floor on the left-hand side out by the pool. So I just went in, kind of went over the paperwork. She got a magic band, so you pay $18 for a magic band, and if you return it, you get your $18 back, but she really wanted to keep it as a souvenir. It was cute. It had Olu on it, which was one of their Aulani's characters. And then you also pay for your event at that time. So some of the options and playtimes are free, but I didn't get a free one when I went to go register for her. So I picked a premium activity, and I chose the Kakamora Chaos with Moana for her. And it was $63. So after I checked her in, it wasn't time for her to go in yet. So we decided to go check out, they have a board that's like a rotating board, computerized board that has the schedules for the day. So we went and checked the board for characters because I knew we wanted to meet some characters. And we saw that Angel, which is the pink Stitch, was going to be out. So we hopped in line to see her, and she was fun. The funny thing about characters at Aulani, it's nothing like Disney World. They bring these characters out and they stand out there maybe 10 minutes. It is very, very quick. That line, they cut it off very fast. So my best advice is if you want to see a character, get in line early. Get in line before they even start a line, or you're not going to get an opportunity to see that character.
Like at least 10 minutes early.
Yeah. And the line might look really long, but it goes very fast. Like, I don't think we waited longer than 10 minutes for her to see a character. Mm-hmm. It went very quick. But Angel was really sweet. She signed our board. We got some cute pictures with her. That was really fun. So after that, we went to the Pauhana room, which is the community hall. And that's where all the paid activities that you can do at Aulani, that's where it's located. And that's where you go sign up for it. I knew that we wanted to do the make your own Mickey ears the following day. So I went to that room and signed us up for a time slot the following day. They were almost totally booked. So if you are wanting to do one of these paid activities at the beginning of your trip, you need to go ahead and go and look at the schedule. And even if you want to do it towards the end, I would go ahead and plan and get that on your schedule so that you have the opportunity to do it. So when we got there, they give you a couple of sheets where you fill out, you look at all their options of how to make your ears, all the decorations, the different flowers and stuff. So we went ahead and wrote down which flowers we wanted. We pretty much designed our ears from looking at the board so that when we got there the next day, everything was laid out ready to go. We also paid for it at that time, and it was $35 a pair. Okay, so after that, we went and dropped Amelia off at Auntie's. It was around 11:30, and it was time for her to go to her little class. So now Amelia's going to tell us about her experience at Auntie's. Okay, so I'm here with Amelia, and she is going to tell us about Auntie's Beach House. Hi, Amelia.
Hello.
Okay, so when you got to Auntie's, what's the first thing y'all did?
We sat down at this rug, and we talked about where we lived and, like, our names.
How many kids were there? Were there a lot of kids or not?
There was a lot of kids.
How many, like 20?
I think,
like a school class?
More.
Oh, wow.
I think 30.
How many grown-ups were there? Do you remember?
The ones that usually just showed up, those were, there were only 3, but there were more. I think in total there was like 5.
Okay. So after y'all did your little introductions, what did y'all do next?
We went outside and we played some games with Moana.
Oh, is that when you got to meet Moana?
Yeah.
That's cool. So what kind of games did you play?
So we played this game where you had to so this cast member or whatever their names are said questions to said Moana themed questions, and whenever someone would have to run, and you'd have to choose the right answer. Like, it was answers like, who did this and who did that.
Were they hard questions, or did you know the answers?
They were easy. Or, they were only easy if you watched the movie, but I've watched the movie.
That's really cool. So, what were the ages of the kids? So you're 9, almost 10. Were there a lot of kids your age there?
Not that much. There was like 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and 10-year-olds, and a lot of 8-year-olds.
Hey parents, do your kids listen to podcasts? Do they like solving mysteries and flexing their imaginations? Mysteries at Riddleton Elementary is a new children's mystery podcast. Your kid can join Billy Bonanza and Susie Sockington on exciting and wacky adventures as they attempt to solve mysteries around their school. Mysteries at Riddleton Elementary is available now on all podcast platforms.
Okay, so did y'all play any more games outside?
Yes, we did a beanbag toss, and it was Hey Hey themed.
Oh, that's funny.
So you got a 2 beanbags, and if you got a green one and you made it in, then that means you get 5 points. But if you just got a normal colored one or any other colored one, then you got 1 point, and I didn't make any of them.
Oh, man. Did they have prizes for the games?
No.
It was just for fun?
Yeah.
What else did y'all do?
That's it.
So those were all the games?
Oh, wait, never mind. So we did this round of rock, paper, scissors where we got in groups for all the games because they're 2-player games. So one side was in a group and another side was in a group. And yeah, sorry. We got in lines based on our groups, and whoever was across with you had to play with. And if you won, then you stayed. Whoever lost, they had to go sit down in the shade. But if you tied, then you both had to sit down.
Okay, that sounds fun.
So after that, me and one of my friends won.
Oh, cool.
It was a tie because we were on the same team.
So did Moana stay outside with y'all the whole time?
Not the whole time. So we played the games and then she came out, and then we played the games again to show her.
Oh, that's fun. Was she nice?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what'd y'all do after the games?
We went inside and then we decorated our paddles.
Yeah, you got to make a wooden paddle, like a rowing paddle. It was really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of crafts did they have for y'all to use to decorate the paddles?
We used stamps, and there was like a Maui stamp, a Hey Hey and Pua stamp. There was a fish stamp. There was a water stamp, and there was a really pretty flower stamp. That was probably my favorite.
Yeah, your paddle was really pretty. I will post some pictures of it on Instagram so that you can get an idea of what it looks like, because it was really cute. And that was the, when you buy the premium experience, you get a souvenir. So that was a souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all do anything else?
I think that's it, but I have one more thing to say.
Okay.
If anyone goes on it, if you stay and look at the fireplace, sometimes the cracks light up.
Ooh.
And also on the top, there's like a screen roof, and sometimes there's like birds on it, or so one time there was Angel and Stitch.
Oh, that's fun. So what did the inside of Auntie's look like? Because I didn't get to go in there.
It was like kind of like tropical themed. It was really pretty.
Mm-hmm. Did it look like a little house?
It kind of did.
That's so cute. Did the outdoor area look like a backyard?
Yeah, kind of. There was one big tree in the middle.
Okay.
That's where we sat at whenever, like, if you lost the round of rock, paper, scissors or something.
So what was your most favorite part about Auntie's beach house?
I think my favorite part was decorating the paddles.
What was your least favorite part? If you had one.
Yeah, I don't think I had one.
That's awesome. And you also met some friends there, which was really neat.
Yeah.
Because when you would see them around the resort, y'all would say hi to each other and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think also if you take your kids to Auntie's and you staying at Aulani longer than we were, your friends your kids could actually make friends with these other kids and hang out. Well, thanks for coming on and telling us all about Auntie's.
You're welcome.
After this, we went to the lobby. So after we dropped her off at Auntie's, we went to the lobby to pick up a special cake that I had ordered for Cameron and mine's 20th wedding anniversary from Oahu Cakes. They delivered it to us in the front of Aulani, and it was so cute. It was a triple layer vanilla cake with cookies and cream frosting, and it had 2 surfboards on top, one with a Mickey head and one with a Minnie head, and it had like a beach scene. And it was so cute. I was really excited to surprise Cameron with that. And we took that up, me and the boys took that up to the room, and we got dressed for the day. So then we packed up a pool bag, and then we just went down to the pool for the day. Also, when we went back down, we decided to buy a refillable mug around this time. And I highly recommend getting a refillable mug because we used that all the time.
We definitely got our money's worth.
So after that, we just kind of went down to the pool and the beach. And around this time, I think Cameron came and met with us. So let's just talk about the pools and stuff. So what did you think about the pools?
The pools were pretty nice. So the pools were definitely, I would say they were kind of cold. But you get used to them decently quickly. And just being out in Hawaii and running around and stuff, you do get hot. So it's kind of nice having the pools being a little bit cold to cool you down. First I'll talk about the lazy river. The lazy river is definitely the highlight of the whole pool. It goes around most of Aulani. And it takes you there to a giant slide that they have. One of them being a tube slide and the other being just a normal on your back kind of slide. The tube slide drops you off in the lazy river while the on your back slide just drops you off in the normal pool. Overall, I thought the lazy river was super cool.
Which slide did you like better?
I preferred I would say, I don't know, they were both really fun. I really liked the tube slide because I got to go with my sister and she was super funny on that.
Yeah, it's a 2 tube.
Well, it can be 1 or 2.
Yeah, 1
but
or 2.
I would recommend doing it too. It's just super fun. With more people. But the on your backside is super fast and I love slides like that. So. And
it's really dark. I was surprised how dark it was in there. But I did both slides and I thought both slides were fun as well.
Mm-hmm. The next pool I'll talk about is just a normal pool. It's alright. So there's another pool with an infinity edge and a hot tub that I would recommend going to other than this normal pool because it's just a normal pool. Why not go to the infinity edge where it's just a better version of that? So overall, that pool's alright. I would only use that pool to go on the normal slide. The infinity edge pool is really nice. It's both relaxing, but also with just the view of the infinity edge overlooking the beach. The hot tub, in case you want to heat up or just relax in the hot tub. There's chairs all around it for relaxing. Overall, just a really relaxing pool. And other than that, there's a ton of just little pools all around. Aulani, but the Lazy River and the Infinity Edge pool was the one me and my sister used the most.
Yeah, those were the best. The Lazy River was a lot of fun. And I think we probably did it like 5 or 6 times or more.
Oh, yeah. We used it a lot.
Yeah. And I don't know. We have a pool at our house. And so just sitting in a regular pool and swimming isn't something that we necessarily want to do when we go on vacation. So maybe that's why we liked the Lazy River and the slides the most, because it was different. But it's beautiful. Like there's plants growing over it. It's just really, really nice. And the music they play is so fun. It's just Hawaiian music mixed in with some music from Lilo and Stitch. And they take some other versions of Disney songs and kind of make them Hawaiian style. And it's just really nice. You and Asher also did ping pong on the beach.
We did do that. So if you go over to this little activity hut on the beach, they have a ton of just like little free activities you can do, like ping pong and Giant Connect 4. Me and Asher played ping pong, and that was pretty fun. It was just ping pong, but outside on the beach.
Yeah, it was nice.
I would recommend wearing shoes though, because that sand gets really hot.
Yeah, the ping pong tables just kind of back off away from the water. But yeah, that was a fun activity for y'all. Asher loved that.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all get Dole Whips down at the snack shack on the beach?
Asher didn't, but I did.
Was that good? The
Dole Whip was super good. It was my first time ever having a Dole Whip, and it just was really good. I'm not a huge pineapple guy, but the Dole Whips, they just were super good. It was really creamy and like ice cream.
Yeah, and did y'all get shaved ice this day as well?
Yes, me and Asher did get the shaved ice. The shaved ice was super cool. It gave you a ton of flavors, and then you could get a type of shaved ice with ice cream in the middle of it. That was super good. Overall, it's just super nice treats.
Yeah. So I feel like we got a little bit better with food on this day. And maybe it's because we ate such a big breakfast, but we didn't really eat technically lunch. But we did eat a late lunch / early dinner. And we went back to Ulu Cafe and got poke bowls this time. They only serve poke bowls until a certain time. I think it was 4 p.m. And we might have even got there, or maybe it's 5 p.m. We might have got there right before that. Ordered that. And Cameron and I loved the poke bowls. They were so good. I think you got pizza. Oh, no, you went and got fish.
Oh, yes.
From the, from Mama's Snack Shop.
Mm-hmm.
How was the fish?
Mama's Snack Shop, I'd say, is much better than the other cafeteria food.
The Ulu Cafe.
Ulu Cafe area. Because the food just feels all fresh. The wait isn't super long, yet the food is just really good. The fish and chips at Mama's Cafe is definitely the best quick meal you can get at Aulani.
Mm-hmm. And Asher got chicken tenders again from Ulu Cafe, and he liked that. And we got a table this time. We just kind of sat and ate, and then just decided that we wanted to go on a walk around the lagoon. And so we got some drinks and just walked around the lagoon. So Aulani has its own lagoon, but there are other resorts right next to it, and each have their own lagoon. So we kind of just wanted to walk around and check it. Oh, Aulani shares its lagoon with Four Seasons. Sorry. But we kind of just wanted to walk around and see it. So we walked out towards the big ocean and looked back on Aulani, and it was so pretty. This was such a nice evening, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It really was just so relaxing.
Yeah, the grass is beautifully cut, and the flowers and the trees, and there was such a nice breeze. And us being from Texas, where it's been just such a hot summer, it felt so nice to just be able to walk around and enjoy the outdoors without melting, didn't it?
Yes.
This was such a fun evening. Probably, again, one of my favorite parts of our stay at Aulani was just walking around and spending this time together. We walked down to another resort. I think it was a Marriott resort where they had some live music. We didn't stay, but we just kind of walked by it and then turned back around. But this was a really, really nice evening. After that, we went back to the room, and again, we were in bed all asleep around 8:30. Okay, so our last day at Aulani, we woke up early again because that's just what we did. And Cameron and Asher had plans to go play golf this day at the Ko'olina Golf Club, which is right across the street. I was going to go to the spa, and then I was going to go to the spa, and then Aiden and Amelia were going to just go hang out by the pool. And we were just going to have a chill day. So one of the nice things about Aulani is even on the day you check out, you can use all of their amenities to the end of the day. There's also a room, like a lounge you can sign up to go into where you can take a shower and get dressed if you have a late flight, or after being at the pool all day if you just want to go shower before you leave, like us. So I went down at 7 a.m. to the front desk. There was a pretty long line of people already lined up to sign up for this room. I was towards the end of the line, and I still got the spot I wanted. I wanted 5 p.m. for us. I got our spot. We were good to go. So we went back up to the room, packed everything up. We put all our clothes that we were going to change into that day in a special bag that we would easily be able to tell guest services or bell services if they could just grab it for us. And then we packed up the rest of the room, called bell services, and everyone left. Cameron and Asher went to play golf. I went to the spa, and Aiden and Amelia went to the pool. So the spa's on the lower level, and it's called Lami Way. They recommend you to come an hour early to enjoy all the outdoor hydrotherapy features. They had different showers that you can stand under, hot tubs, cold tubs, jacuzzis, a hot and a dry and wet sauna that you can go sit in. It was so nice and peaceful and quiet. I loved the spa. I did all the tubs. I even got in the cold tub. It was like 40 something degrees. The spa was just amazing. I was so excited that I had the chance to get to go there, and I highly recommend it for anyone to go. I had a hydrofacial, but when I went to look back at their site, they don't offer the facial I got anymore. They kind of changed them all, but my facial was so wonderful. It was just really relaxing and nice, and a great way to kind of spend my morning. And like I said, I just highly recommend checking out the spa and going if you are visiting Aulani, because it is absolutely gorgeous. So after the spa, I joined Aiden and Amelia. We went and did a meet and greet with Moana. We went on the lazy river. We did some water slides. We went out to the beach, and Aiden was really tired. So we found some chairs by one of the more quiet pools. He actually lay down and went to sleep. And while he was sleeping, me and Amelia went and we made our Mickey ears. So once we got there, we went to the same room, the community hall. We go in, and they asked us if we had a reservation, and they check our name off the list, and they take us to our table where all of our materials are already laid out, ready to go. So they didn't tell us that we actually have a time limit to make our ears. I kind of thought it'd be about an hour, but I was wrong. It was only 30 minutes. So I'm helping her make her ears because it was a little bit hard using the hot glue gun and holding the ears on the headband. So we were kind of working together to make sure her ears were perfect. And right when we got done, the lady was like, okay, everyone needs to finish up. We have about 10 minutes left. I hadn't even started on my ears. So her and I made my ears as quick as we could. And it was fine. They turned out really cute, but it was kind of funny. I was like, oh no, we have to hurry. But they were really cute. This was a super fun experience. We really enjoyed it. And after we got done making our ears, we walked out and we got to meet Olu, who was our absolute favorite character that we met. He was so cute. He loved Amelia's ears. He pointed out all the Mickeys he has on his body. He has them on his knees and his shell. And he was so, so sweet. That was such a fun character interaction. And I watched him with other people. He was so great with everyone. That was so much fun. So after this, we met up with Aiden and we all grabbed lunch at Mama's Snack Shop. Aiden got the fish and chips again, and me and Amelia got fried mozzarella sticks. Delicious. And then, of course, we had to get another shaved ice. I think this might have been Amelia's first, maybe her second Mickey shaved ice, and it was really good as well. Cameron and Asher loved playing golf, so they played at the Ko'olina Golf Club. I had just gone online and reserved them a tea time, and because we had booked our tea time, I think it was more than 2 weeks in advance, they got 50% off their clubs that they rented, and they loved it. It was a beautiful golf course, and they had a really, really nice time. So around 4 p.m., they were back from golf. We got our change of clothes back from guest services. I went to the front desk to get a code to check in and go into the lounge. And honestly, this was probably the most annoying part of Aulani. So I stood in line for like 30 minutes because so many people were checking in at that point, and all I needed was a code. I feel like they need to streamline this process a little bit better by maybe texting you the code when it's your time to go in or something, but it was just kind of frustrating because we needed to be there by a certain time. We were tired, we were hungry, and then we're just like standing there waiting for people to check in. But this was another learning experience because this is when we learned that island time is a real thing. And people who live in Hawaii, they live on island time and they don't rush for anything or for anybody. So patience is key. So we went over to the lounge, which was right by the community hall on the first level, kind of by the pools. This was a nice little spot, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was a really nice little spot. They had a TV in there for you to just chill out. It was all AC. And the showers and stuff, you just had plenty of room. It really was just like a nice, like refreshing little spot.
And they supplied you with shampoo and conditioner and soap and towels. And yeah, it was really nice. It was a nice way to freshen up after being out by the pools all day and the guys playing golf. Felt good, but we were like starving at this point. So Cameron went to get the car. He showered first and he went to go get the car from valet and get the rest of our luggage from Bell Services. Me and the kids finished up and I went ahead and ordered us food online from Monkey Pod, which is a restaurant right across the street. So right across the street from Aulani is like a shopping center. It has a grocery store, it has restaurants and some other little shops and stuff. Well, I think Monkey Pod might be the only restaurant. So after we all got done showering, we went to the front of Aulani to meet Cameron, and he had the car, but he did not have our bags. Bell Services was crazy over being overworked at this point. It was a Saturday. I guess tons of guests were coming in, but we waited another 30 minutes for our bags. It was a little bit frustrating. They were really nice, but they finally brought them out. They were really nice, loaded up our car, and off we went across the street to Monkey Pod. We got there. We got a really good parking right up close. We went and picked up our food. It was ready. We got an outdoor table that kind of sits outside Monkey Pod, and we got to watch some roosters fight while we ate.
We did.
That was very interesting. There really are chickens all over Hawaii. Mm-hmm. I had heard
for
that,
real.
but it's for real.
For real.
What did you get to eat at Monkey Pod?
A pizza. It was super good.
Amelia got pizza. Did Asher get pizza too?
Yep, we all did.
Cameron got street tacos that he absolutely loved, and I got like a beet and kale salad that was so delicious.
Wow.
The food was really good, and honestly, I wish I would have known how good this food was because we would have gone there the first night when we could find nothing to eat. I highly recommend if you go to Aulani to go over and eat at Monkey Pod. It was delicious.
You are about to go.
So after Monkey Pod, we kind of walked around a little bit. Most of the shops were closed, but we did find a little shop that had Dole Whips. So we went in and got some Dole Whips, and I got a watermelon Dole Whip, and it was yummy. And they put these cute little eyeballs on them, so they were like Dole Whips with eyes. Did you like the Dole Whips, Aiden?
Yes, they were very delicious. They weren't as good as the ones at Aulani, though.
I agree to that. I don't know why, but that's true. So we got that, and then we went over to the little grocery store and walked around and kind of checked it out. We got a football for the rest of our trip to take to the beach. Asher got some candy, and then Cameron and I got a coconut latte for the car ride since we had about a 30-minute drive up to the north side of the island. And yeah, that was our Aulani trip. That was our Aulani portion of our Hawaiian trip. So Aiden, what was your favorite thing about Aulani?
My favorite thing was probably the beach. Even though it didn't have waves, it was just super fun hanging out there, and I probably spent the most time at the beach.
Yeah, the lagoon is really nice. It's also, I have to say, I bet it is wonderful for parents with smaller kids because you don't have to worry about an undertow or the big waves that I used to have to worry about when we would take our kids to the beach. It's just very relaxing. Overall, Aulani is amazing. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is a deluxe resort, very nice, and it just has a touch of Disney. My husband is not a huge Disney fan, but he loved it there, and he even said he would recommend it to anyone to go and stay there. And I honestly liked that we only stayed a couple of nights. I might have done one more night just so we could have seen a little bit more around the resort. But I don't think Aulani is the type of place you would want to stay on your whole Hawaiian vacation. If we're being honest, it is very expensive to stay there. And it's not all inclusive. You still have to pay for your food and your drinks and everything. And one of the great things about Hawaii is seeing the island and all the stuff that you can do while you're there. Like when we went up to our other condo, we were barely ever there, right?
Yeah, we were out just doing tons of things at our other condo that it wasn't like as of an experience as Aulani was.
So I like that we did Aulani at the beginning of our trip. It kind of helped us relax. We didn't have to jump straight into the trip. It was a slower pace, and it was a nice way to get ready for like all the sightseeing and stuff that we did later in our trip. I would recommend that, or I would recommend just adding on a couple of days to the end of your trip to kind of end your trip on that relaxing, calming note. I think that would be really fun and a great way to just experience Aulani. I think 2 to 3 nights would be perfect to stay there. So, Aiden, what was your most magical moment of our Aulani trip?
I would say the most magical moment of the full trip was the character breakfast. Like, that's as close to a Disney experience as Aulani can get.
I agree. That was my most magical moment. It was such a great experience. The characters were so much fun. The staff was super nice. The food was absolutely delicious. From start to finish, it was a great experience and probably the best character meal I've ever been to. Aiden, what was your least magical moment?
My least magical moment at Aulani was probably that one restaurant, the cafeteria food restaurant. Ulu Cafe. Yep. It just didn't really feel like Disney, in my opinion.
My least magical moment were the crowds. We didn't really talk about it, but it was pretty crowded. It was really hard to find chairs. Chairs were gone very early in the day, and we were not going to be someone that went down and grabbed chairs early. And so the crowds were a little bit much. Like, we went to get in the hot tub once, and how many people did you count in the hot tub, Aiden?
There was like at least 8.
Oh, no. It was like 12, and then because it said capacity was 5.
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, wow, that's really over capacity. But it was also a really big hot tub. I don't know why it said 5. Well, thanks for coming on the show, Aiden, and talking with me about Aulani. Maybe one day we'll get to go back.
You're welcome. I'm so glad I could make it.
Thanks for listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Go find us on Instagram at Disney Travel Tales to see videos and pictures from our trip. You can also email me at jenny@trolleylanetravel.com if you have any questions about Aulani or if you want a quote for your family. Join me next week because I have something very exciting for the show. I will be at Walt Disney World recording from my room the morning after I visit Mickey's not-so-scary Halloween party. Yes, you heard that right. I'm packing up all my podcasting equipment and taking it to Florida with me. This should be interesting. So, until then, this is Jenny, and may all your Disney travel dreams become a reality.